Hello, everybody. I just wanted to run through again MLA format because there are some things that we are forgetting or just common mistakes that keep appearing in all of my students' work. So I just wanted to make sure I commented on each and every one of them. Um, so I'm not overlooking one of your MLA mistakes by accident. So I'm looking at a blank Google Doc right now. So much like when you open your assignment, it'll be totally blank. It's also going to be set with all of its regular features. So we got to get this set up in MLA format. Um, let's start with what goes in the top left corner, which is going to be your first and last name. Put mine, your first and last name, not your teacher's, yours. Enter down just one time. Several people are putting enter twice because they think that is double spacing. It's not that. So please make sure you are only writing on the next line, and we will go through and double space it later. So you start with your first and last name. We add your teacher's name, which is Mrs. Keju. We add the class that you are in. Again, don't skip a line. It's just right beneath it. Whoops. English 2. And then you put the due date. So, for example, most of my classes this week are turning things in on Friday. So the due date is May 1st. So I'm going to put May 1, comma, 2020. You definitely want to spell it out. No abbreviations. Don't abbreviate those longer months. And what I don't want to see is 5-1-20. You want to take all of those dashes away and actually spell it out so it looks nice and neat. The next thing that you need is your title. And again, several people are going through and they're just adding all these spaces more than what is even necessary. So please just remember that after you put the date, enter once, and then come over here to the center button, center align, and you put your title. Now, if you're working on an actual assignment, you're going to want to come up with an actual title. I don't want to just see the word title when I'm grading somebody's essay. It should have a title that you've created. But for the sake of it being a placeholder right now, we're just going to put the word title. Then we will just enter down one time and go back over to your left align and tab for the beginning of a new paragraph, and you are good to start typing out here. And we're going to double space it. You don't need to. And what I keep seeing, people are adding all these extra spaces here, and that's just not what we need at all. Please don't do that at all for any reason whatsoever. Let's go ahead and format a couple of these things. Number one is that this all needs to be in Times New Roman. Now, I like Times New Roman because it is what we call a serif font. So let's see if I can zoom in. Arial looks nice and neat. It's nice and straight. However, Times New Roman has these little markings on the tops and bottoms of all of the letters that help make it easier for whoever is reading your document. It just makes the page flow a little better. So I prefer that. If you're in my class, you're definitely going to be doing that. The other thing is that it should be in size 12. So make sure that you make that change. And then now we can go ahead and actually double space. So your spacing is right there with the pancakes and the arrows next to it, and double. Voila. What you don't want to do is come in here and customize your spacing and go 2.03 and make it look a little bigger. That's not double spacing. It should just be 2. That's it. So please click that. The other thing, for some reason, my font looks like gray. I'm going to change it to black. Well, that's much better. Okay. We need one more thing on this document, and it is up here in the header. Now, to get to the header, I can double click. If you are clicking and clicking and clicking and it's not working, for some reason, it's not working for you. Go to the insert down here to header and footer and just click on header. And you're there. Then come over here to the right align. In the top right corner, we want your last name and the page number. So I'm going to type out my last name. It would be yours, but for the sake of this being my document, I'm putting my last name. So Keju, space, and then we need to insert the page number. Now, it would be really easy just to type the number 1, but the whole point of the header is that this piece of information, whatever's up here, shows up on every single page for the header. So if I left it that way and I got to page 2, it would still say Keju 1, and I don't want that. So to make it so the numbers actually change every time I reach a new page, I'm going to go Insert, Page Number, and most likely it will always be this first option here. Very rarely, and maybe when you're in college, will you start actually using numbers down here at the footers. So click the first one for me, and voila, we've got that in there. The last thing that we need to change with this is this should also be Times New Roman, size 12 font. And then we click out of there. All right, I think that looks great. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below or shoot me an email, and I can get any of those questions answered for you. Let me just double check, make sure I've got it all. One thing that I have seen by a couple people that I do just want to comment on is that these margins, everything that's on the side of your page, should be 1 inch. So the space from right here to the edge of the page is 1 inch. The space from right here to the edge of the page is 1 inch. And what some people are doing, because they're trying to reach their requirements for how long their document is supposed to be for their assignment, they're pulling these in. And we're making it look like this. And we're making it look like this, which doesn't appear to be that noticeable, but it is, and that's cheating. We're not going to do that. So I'm going to undo that. And slide that back over. So it does look off when you try to change your margins, and I can tell, so please don't do that. And yeah, I hope this was a great refresher for you. Again, if you have any questions, please just shoot me an email or leave a comment. Now let me figure out how to stop.